Y'all, it's Christmas! What the? 2020 done flew by, and here we are, y'all. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. I'm really excited to just chomp it up with you guys for a few minutes. So my friend Ebony's here, and we're gonna do some holiday questions, and hopefully if I move enough, you can hear the bells on my shirt. Okay, well, so someone just asked me this yesterday, and I have a top three. So I'm gonna, since it's my YouTube, I'm gonna say my top three would be Elf, Santa Claus, and Home Alone. I think partially because I grew up with them, and I love comedy. I love laughing, and nobody's mad about some laughter, especially in 2020, y'all.
What is a cherished family tradition from your childhood?
I don't know if it's really cherished, but every Christmas, the Arthur family, you typically would go to see a Christmas movie that wasn't really Christmassy, but it came out on Christmas, you know, those kind. It's like superhero movies usually, things like that. So we would load up the whole family, go to a Christmas show, I guess. I'm trying to think of other traditions that the Arthur crew does. It's typical, wake up. I mean, when we were little, wake up our parents at the butt crack of dawn and look for presents. Do the thing, eat a lot, sleep a lot, go watch a movie.
What is one that can literally flip your mood?
Oh, shoot. I would say O Come Emmanuel. I think that one cuts me straight open and makes me weep. There's one line in a song, and it's actually Come All Ye Faithful. I remember one time I was singing the song, and I was at a church, and they were doing worship. And I remember thinking oh, come, all ye that are faithful. And I felt the Father tell me also those who are faithless. Now's the invitation for people that are wavering in their faith to actually come. This is the time that the Savior comes for you, not just for those that he knows already. So, yeah, that will straight send me to my face, 100%.
What is your least favorite holiday side dish?
Oh, gosh. I would say cranberry anything. I don't like cranberries, y'all. I think that may be more of a Thanksgiving thing. I'm not sure. Honestly, keep it real. My mom is Mexican, so most of my Christmases was Mexican food. So when somebody that's traditional Christmas dinner, I'm no, that was not a tradition in my house. So, we had homemade tortillas and stuff. So my favorite side's hot sauce. So take that with y'all's traditions. Love you, Mom.
Gave that you were really excited about?
I don't know if I have a specific, but I feel like people that know me know this about me. I'm very sentimental. So when I give a gift, I want them to know that I know them. So kind of what I do, don't tell anybody. I listen all year long to my closest friends of things that they would want. Things that they're like, man, I really want that. And I'll literally make a list in my phone of, oh, so-and-so wants this, so-and-so wants this. And then at Christmas, it's time to shop. So I tend to be the shopper that's kind of intellectually invested all year. Do the same things for birthdays. So the thing that I love about me is that I'm sentimental when I give stuff. So you may get something that you want, but you're also going to get something that is sentimental to our friendship or something that says, hey, I see you even in the details.
If you had to buy all your Christmas presents for your friends and family in one store, what store would it be?
Amazon Prime. Does that count as a store?
Can you think of a specific year where Christmas was very transformational for you?
As many people know that I've traveled the world and I've got the gift of lots of plain points. I would say one of my most transformational Christmases was actually spent in India at the end of 2014. I had taken a team over there from Mozambique to India, and we were in Calcutta, which is where Mother Teresa did a lot of her work. And we served the day of Christmas. And it was probably my most favorite Christmas because it's like, well, what do you do? Like, it was the house for the dying. Like, picture with me for a second, being at a place, third world country, where everybody's at this like base, there's housing and things like that, and they're all literally just waiting to die. That you may not have a grid for that, and that's okay. In India, like, they go around and pick up people that are waiting to die on the streets, and they bring them in. They clothe them, they give them medicine, they give them a bed, and they simply just waiting to pass away. And so we got to work with a lot of the women there, which looked wild and crazy, from putting lotion on them because they can't do it themselves, to literally carrying women that can't walk. I remember, like, just, I mean, it would get too detailed for YouTube. I will get kicked off. But it was so transformational because I realized more and more, like, we can say up here that Christmas isn't about gifts and Christmas isn't about, like wrapping presents and like, yay, holiday cheer. But that year for me, it wasn't about that. It was, my life had become my gift that I could give anyone. My life was, wiping the bottoms of women that can't wipe their bottom. And I remember right before I left, this lady that I had been with all day, like taking care of her, she became like my best friend for the day. And she had cancer, and she had a big tumor in her head, the size of her head. It was just, I mean, there's things that I saw there that I'm like, I don't even have a grid for. And when I was leaving, knowing I'm not going to see her again probably, she asked me to come and lay down with her in her little bed. And I was just kind of like baffled and taken back, like, okay, And I'd prayed for her, and I prayed for cancer to leave her body and the tumor to fall off and all these things. And she just beckoned me, come to my bed real quick. And there's a room of like hundreds of women, so it wasn't weird or anything. And I just sat there like on her bed, and she just looked at me, and I instantly just began to weep because she'd become my gift. I looked in her eyes and I saw Christ. I look in her life and I'm just like, you're so much more rich than the average person. And here you are in a house for the dying, like you're waiting to go beyond this life, eternity with the Father. And I see you and him more than I could describe in this moment. And I just remember that Christmas being so transformational for me, and realizing it's not about getting. It's easy to say in your head, like, it's not about what you're getting, but in our hearts, we're like, but I want all this stuff. And it's not that that's evil, but I think at the end of the day, you have to realize that God gave his only son, like he gave heaven's best for you. And the point of that is that you would turn that around and give your life for something else, something bigger than yourself, something that when people look in your eyes in the holiday season and Christmas and all of the yay, and they would look in your eyes and they would see his love. They wouldn't just see a gift that you're handing them, but they would feel an embrace from the Father. And I think for me, that grounds me. It keeps me grounded in this season of busy, in this season of buying this and all of that. It's like, God, you became the gift that I needed, and I want to be the gift to someone else's life. And I hugged that lady in India that day in leaving, and I literally was like, I am not the same person. I'm not. And so my greatest transformation comes from those moments. I have a list of 1,000 gifts that were amazing, that people are like, so intentional, like, Shay loves this, and like, oh, and it blesses me, and I feel seen, and I feel loved, and I feel blessed. But at the end of the day, if that's not unto giving my life away to something bigger than me, like, what's the point? Like, that lady changed me. That Christmas in India, absolutely top 3 moments of my life. I know that probably hit you like bricks, maybe. And maybe it just checked you. You're like, crap, like I have kind of gone off to the side and I made it about gifts. And I don't want to cut you. Like my goal was not to like smash you, make you feel condemned. There's something beautiful in the country that we live in, that we get gifts and we get the honor of coming into family for a day and celebrating. And my challenge, because you know me by now, my challenge is that you would take a moment, still a moment with the Father and look in his eyes and say, I want my family this year to see you and me. I don't want to just come in and receive and receive and receive. I want to actually contribute to this thing called Christmas. This thing that's actually bigger than us, that is actually has nothing to do with us at all. And I want to challenge you to do that, but I also want to say, hey, when you get that awesome gift and you get those Air Force Ones and you get that Apple Watch and you get all that, still a moment with the Father and say, Father, I see that you're in this, and I see that you're in my details, that you know what I want, and you're using people to meet my desires. See, it's both, right? Like it's both. It's both and. I want to give my life away, but then the Father gave Christ's life on that cross to get all up in my details. And so this Christmas season, would you just steal time with him? Or would you just sneak away? Say, God, I see you all up in my details. And from that place of knowing that you so loved me, that you sent heaven's best, that I could give my best to those around me. I pray you have a fantastic, merry, 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 the merriest of all Christmases. And I pray that Christ would be your focus, not just in your talk, but in your life. Merry Christmas.